say so. We are sick and tired of this ANC. We vote for ANC, but you know what? They don't care about us. We as South Africans. Step down, Mr. President. I'm saying it. Step down. You don't know me, I don't know you.
All right. So, the South Africans stating they need Nigerians to leave because they're selling drugs to their kids. Now, the Ghanaians were also chanting that Nigerians must go.
Say what? Nigerians are destroying Ghana. Ghana is for Ghanaians. It doesn't belong to anybody. Ghana is for Ghanaians. Ghanaians, we must stand up for our rights. We want Nigerians to go back to their country. Ghana is for us. Ghana is not for any foreigner. No Igbo man can come to this country and intimidate us. This country belongs to us. Brother Mahama, you came for Ghanaians. You said Ghana first. You said you came for the youth. Please, take action now.
We don't need you, Nigerian people. You are wicked. Go, go, go. We don't need you. Nigeria must go, go.
We are begging you guys. There's a lot going on in Ghana. We've kept quiet for so long, and it is time we have a review.
Now, when these headlines hit Nigerian blogs and media platforms, of course, a lot of people spoke in support of their own country. They said it's prejudice. But if more than one country is accusing you of one thing, I usually stand on the side of, can we at least investigate these claims? Anyways, joining me all the way from Ghana is Obibini Kojo Bansah. He's a broadcast journalist from the Central Region in Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Bansah, for joining us. Can you hear me?
You're welcome, my brother. I can clearly hear you.
Okay. So let's get some context. At least you can speak for the protest in Ghana. What's the motivation behind the Nigeria Must Go protest in Ghana?
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. As it stands now, we must state it clearly and emphatically that such protest has not taken place in Ghana, at least not as at the date that is circulating.
Okay.
In this month of July, not even in this month, in this year 2025, that there's a protest going on in Ghana dubbed Nigeria Must Go. That is completely false.
Okay.
Yeah, so we check with the capital, the capital town of Ghana, which is Accra Kwame Nkrumah Circle to be precise, where this is what reported to have taken place. And nothing of that sort has taken place. Nevertheless, there have been some agitations about Nigerians being dominated with the petty trading in Ghana.
Okay.
As it stands now, the laws of Ghana state clearly in the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act 865/2013, which prohibits non-citizens and foreign-owned enterprises, not Nigerians, but any person who is a foreigner, from participating in real-time trade, petty trading, hawking, and all sort of petty dealings on the street in the market of Ghana. So that is a legality. So it is a contention between legality and then diplomacy. And that has always been the case. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, that is the GUTA, has always been raising concerns about this. And just last week, GUTA came up again with such concerns that the laws of the country must be put to work so that foreigners who are infiltrating trading activities that should solely belong to the indigenes of the country can be adhered to. But as far as criminal issues are concerned, yes, eventually here in Ghana, occasionally when there are criminal activities or there are criminals being arrested, you get some who are Nigerians, not only Nigerians, but other foreign nationals. Ghanaians perpetrate crime. Nigerians do. So does other foreigners in the country also do. Occasionally, they arrest prostitutes. Sorry to say, you have some who are Ghanaians, some who are Nigerians, but some believe that there are some of these activities that are being dominated by foreign nationals, especially our brothers and sisters from Nigeria. But as it stands now, brother, there is no such protest as Nigeria Must Go in Ghana, at least as we can confirm. Now, we also cross-check with social media, especially on TikTok. There are some Ghanaians who have started agitating So I am tempted to believe that this is where our blogs from Nigeria are picking their source from. But physically on the streets, governmentally, nothing of that sort has happened in Ghana, my brother.
Okay, Bansah. So the agitations you speak of, as you say, there was no coordinated event, which we would call a protest. What form did those agitations take? Because I know that I saw pictures. I didn't see videos, but I saw pictures of people that seemed to be Ghanaians with placards, talking about some of the inscriptions on those placards were about the crime rate in Ghana increasing because of the presence of Nigerians. So what form did those agitations take?
Okay, so most of the time, these agitations take the social media space by people tweeting, TikTokers also sharing their concerns, but in an organized form with regards to people holding placards and all that. You can check with almost every credible media blog in Ghana, and which I can even mention a few. There has been no publication of that sort whatsoever. And some of us are even amazed where those placards are coming from. Okay. It could be from a very long previous agitation that might have happened in times past. Okay. I have also seen some of such placards. Nigerians are criminals. No, such things have never happened. And especially with the date that is being assigned to us in 28th or 27th of July. Nothing of that sort. Nevertheless, Guta has threatened a nationwide action against government for failing to adhere to the laws of the country, which prevent foreigners from engaging in petty trading.
Okay, so let me understand this act. Foreigners are not allowed to engage in petty trade, but does that mean that petty trade is reserved for Ghanaians?
Exactly so, my brother. Exactly so.
Okay, I'm hoping that the English language works the same way it does here in Nigeria. What qualifies as petty trade in Ghana?
For an enterprise to qualify as petty trading, for example, being on the street, selling phone accessories on a truck on the street, like phone covers, phone screen protectors, and all that on the street qualifies to be a petty trading. Okay. Somebody selling some form of food. Some form of food on the street.
Yeah, so hawking, street trading, and all those kinds of things.
And all that. Exactly. But if a Nigerian or any foreign national has a very big shop somewhere in Ghana and does wholesaling, that is perfectly allowed. In fact, in the central region where I am recently, where our media organization is, there's a very big building where we have about 6 Nigerian shops in here. They are our friends. They do wholesaling of phone accessories. And nobody is telling them anything. What people are concerned are those who are on the streets and even prevent people from going into the shops of Ghanaians to buy from them. But they get them on the street, they buy, and they feel like that space should be for them solely.
Okay. Now you say if the Nigerian or the foreigner has a shop, a big shop, then there's no problem. Does the shop have to be big? I mean, can't we start small with shops? Must it be big?
No. Not necessarily big.
Okay.
It may be any form of shop, but the kind of trading counts. Is it a wholesale shop or is it a petty trading shop?
Okay.
It also counts.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, how has the government responded to, the flouting of these rules? You say that the act, they have contravened this act. What has been the response of government to these agitations by people?
So
concerned because you know that the relationship between Nigeria and Ghana is not very easy to describe. But how do you think this might affect relations between both countries?
Yeah, my brother, it's very worrying, and that is the more reason why some of us had to take the pain to cross-check every angle of this story to be sure that no such protest has taken place. Because, like I said, if you come to Ghana right now, we are one people you can hardly even identify, if not by accent or by name, you can hardly identify this as a Ghanaian. We are in our homes with them. They rent from ourselves and all that. So if this is not handled well, and I also believe law is law, and every country is being governed by its laws. So if in the wisdom of the lawmaking organizations of the country, Ghana, think petty trading should solely be reserved for its people, then the law can be enforced. That is law. It is not an illegality. And making foreigners also understand perfectly, without any form of intimidation or discrimination, to know that, look, this is it. I strongly believe in Nigeria, we have similar laws that also protect its people.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, in terms of territory.
Yes, we do.
It is nothing bad, but once you allow it to go on for a very long time, then you try to normalize the abnormal. And that is when it becomes very difficult to fight it or to deal with it. So now government is really tied between making its laws work and also ensuring that the diplomatic relationship between Ghana and Nigeria does not also scatter in any way. And I think that has become a very difficult one for government.
Yeah, I mean, I would like that the conversation between Ghana and Nigeria remains about jollof, right? It's important that we keep it at that level. Even though I'm still going to ask you,
of which you always know Ghana.
I'm still going to ask you which jollof is better, right?
Of course, that is Ghana.
we have a commercial break coming up. After that break, we'll talk about some more things, but jollof will definitely make the mix. So please stay with us. After the break, we talk some more.
Okay, my brother.
Nigeria Info, Sam Oracle Chinedu, right here in Port Harcourt. Okay, we're still having conversations about a protest that held in Ghana. We have a journalist all the way from the central region, Ghana, Obibini Kojo Bansah. He says there was no such protest, but there have been agitations about certain laws being broken. You're welcome once again, Mr. Bansah.
Oh, thank you, my brother.
All right. Now, the chairman CEO of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri, condemned the generalization of Nigerians in Ghana as criminals, describing it as unfair and dangerous. Dabiri Erewa said this while a few individuals may have been involved in wrongdoing. The majority of Nigerians living in Ghana are law-abiding and contribute positively to the society. Now, let's talk about a controversial issue, Mr. Bansah, one that I know has been a front-burner issue with this Nigeria-Ghana saga for quite some time. The installation of an Igbo king. I remember I saw that sometime, was it last month or a few weeks ago, where they said there was an Igbo king who was installed in Ghana. Some land had been acquired and people were concerned about a takeover. Tell us the facts about this issue and how significant is it to this conversation?
Okay. Thank you once again. And the issue of the Igbo king in Ghana arose some few weeks ago, somewhere in the beginning of this very month, that is July.
Okay.
So there is one Mr. Chukwudi Jude, who calls himself the Igbo king in Ghana. And nobody has problem with that. And this man has been in Ghana for only God knows how long. In fact, he's even more Ghanaian than Nigerian, if you ask me. Yes. So, yes. He has been here. He goes around with some of the celebrities, of which he has even invited some of them to his abode. They've had so many things in common. They've done so many things. The only problem that raised some form of concern from a section of Ghanaian communities is when the news broke that he is about to acquire 100-acre land somewhere in the Greater Accra region, which is the capital of Ghana. And in Ghana, we have so many traditional areas. In fact, every community is almost a traditional area. Okay. And more of a kingdom on its own. So when that news broke, that particular area is called the Ningo area, Ningo Prampram area. So Ningo Prampram is also a traditional seat. We have their king, everything in there. So the people of Ningo specifically or particularly were raising concern that we can't have a kingdom within a kingdom. That is the only problem. How is it possible to have a kingdom within a kingdom? Yeah. And which kingdom are you talking about? A foreign kingdom that is about to be embedded in a local kingdom. And the people started raising concerns. Hey, how do we sit there for a foreigner to come and install himself a king and call himself a king? You see, even in Ghana, the only person we can easily call a king is the Asantehene, the chief of the Ashanti. Okay. Yes, the chief of the king of the kingdom, as Otumfo or Seitutu, is the only easily recognizable king in the country. So for somebody to sit somewhere and say he's building a kingdom and that he calls himself a king within somebody's kingdom was a call for there was a call to be worried about. Yeah. And on the 17th of July, this very month, the Foreign Affairs Minister, Honorable Samuel Kujetu Ablakwa, invited Mr. Chukwudi and his entourage to his office. They had a gentleman talk, and according to Mr. Chukwudi, he said there are no such plans. And that interview that popped up on the internet that people are basing on to raise concerns stems from somewhere in 2013. It was a somewhere 2013 interview that for some reason has resurfaced on the internet, and people are mistaking it to be a very new conversation, and that therefore they are raising concerns.
But in that interview, sorry to interrupt you, Bansah. In that interview, Chukwudi clearly said that land had been acquired and talked about some things he wanted to build, because I saw the video. So whether it's an old video or not, there were conversations about acquiring land in Ghana and building something that might seem permanent.
Exactly. So According to him, it's for a business purpose.
Okay.
And not to build a kingdom as people are portraying it. So they had a very fair conversation with the Minister for Interior, Honorable Samuel Abakwa, and that ended it. And since issue about the Igbo king or Mr. Chukwudi is nowhere to be found because he has always been in Ghana, he's with us, and he's more Ghanaian than Nigerian, as I already said.
Yeah. Okay. So there are controversies and clashes between Ghanaians and Nigeria around sports, fashion, music, and of course the food. Now, I'm not sure, but I'm supposed to be in Ghana later this year for an event. Now, the event has not been confirmed, so I don't know if that's that's still going to happen. I say that because it's important that you guys sort out the problems before I eventually come. But my question for you now is, it's not which jollof is better, because I already know what you will answer to that question. The question is, Bansah, if you are starving, you've not eaten for many days, and they say you have to eat, else you will die, and the food they bring to you to eat is Nigerian jollof, will you eat it?
My brother, life is good.
Okay. So are you admitting live on air that Nigerian jollof can save your life?
Definitely.
Okay, that's all I need. Thank you very much, Bansah, for your time. Thank you for giving us some clarity to all of this. We truly appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful day. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, and I'm also grateful for having me. So before I go, I must say that, first of all, there has been no such protest as Nigerians must go.
Okay.
Yes, crime is being perpetrated everywhere. Ghanaians perpetrate crime. Nigerians also do. Occasionally, they arrest criminals, and you have some Nigerian names in there, not only Nigerians. There are also other nationals in there. So we all advise ourselves to comport ourselves, especially when we are outside our jurisdictions, so that we can all have a very cohesive environment and a very diplomatic environment to be in. We also sometimes, most of the time, encourage reporters to address people by their names and not by their nationality.
Okay.
For example, when crime is being perpetrated, if it is Chuku or me, Bansah, that committed the crime, my name should be mentioned and not to generalize a Nigerian arrested for this. We have Nigerians who are doing genuine business here in Ghana. We have Nigerians who are living responsibly. But of course, in every society, there are the miscreants and all that. Yeah. So we also have people who are also causing problems. Apart from that, we are living here harmoniously, and there's no cause for alarm, except that Ghana Jollof will always be the best.
That's not a good way to wrap it up. Thank you, Bansah, for your time. Have yourself a wonderful day, sir. Okay.
You're welcome, bro.
All right, we have returned from Ghana. Now let's have conversations. They say there was a protest. He says there was no protest. There were agitations demanding that laws are adhered to. I know that I saw pictures. I didn't see videos. And we played a sound of people stating that Nigerians must go. So it's important that you tell me what you make of it. We've heard from him. You've heard what's making the rounds in the news. I'm just asking questions. When does patriotism become xenophobia? If these agitations actually did happen, is it protest or prejudice? And have you ever felt unsafe or unfairly treated in another country, better yet an African country, because of your nationality? What's your take on all of this? 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. Please turn off your radio as you call. My brother Sam, oh my goodness, I can't believe I read it exactly as he. Erasmus, that was a good one. You got me. It is seriously difficult to differentiate Africans, especially West Africans, in appearance, except they talk. And if you're not exposed, you may think they are your fellow countrymen. This idea of chasing each other out is not a good one. It's like chasing your cousin from your grandmother's kitchen because you are the child of the first son or male, and your cousins are the children of daughters or female child. I think we should accommodate each other. In Rukboko here, Togolese are experts in tiling and POP making. and they work alongside their Nigerian and Benin counterparts with ease. That's Erasmus in Rukboko. Gospel calls from Rumudara. Hello, Gospel.
Good evening, my brother Sam.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Aiba Gospel.
All right, go ahead.
Sam.
The plan.
And I must commend him that it was a good way of saving the state of Ghana in this whole controversy. But Sam, I must tell you that the protest actually happened in Ghana.
Okay.
Especially in Accra on the 27th of this month. Ghanaians, we are demanding the expulsion of Nigerians. And it is not something that he would deny. But like he said in his closing remark, that any crime that is being reported, the name of the person, should go in for it, and not the whole country and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad one by Ghanaians by calling on Nigerians to leave their country. That might also incite Nigerians over here to start, being unfriendly against Ghanaians that are here. So I would want to appeal that Ghana should ensure that they don't take that and that does not escalate.
Okay.
If it does, it may have negative effects.
All right, thank you, Gospel.
For the protest, it actually happened in Ghana. Thank you very much.
Okay, Richard from Rumaholo. Hello, Richard. Good evening.
Hello, Uncle Sam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome back from Ghana.
Thank you very much.
Akwaba.
Akwaba to you too. I don't know what the answer is, but Akwaba.
All right. Mr. Sam, I was saying that your guest spoke very well. It is the way I've schooled in a couple of countries outside the shores of Nigeria and even Africa. I must say everything they are worried about in South Africa and in Ghana is something that we should be very, very worried about as a country.
Okay.
I mean, imagine me, a citizen of Nigeria. I'm ashamed of my compatriots' attitude outside Nigeria. It's a cause of concern. It's not just a cause of concern, but it's kind of embarrassing altogether.
Yeah.
When it's a popular thing, when you go to Rome, you behave like the Romans.
Indeed.
When they want to conquer the territory, we carry courtesy over there, we carry things that are not there, that are not to that place. We carry it there and portray our bad attitude outside there. I'm not saying there are some powerful and some good ones. I mean, I know of a doctor down at Melbourne, the biggest place in Melbourne, medical center in Melbourne.
Mm.
The owner of, you may know the band, Planet Shakers, the senior pastor saying his daughter doesn't go to any other place except from one Mrs. Ngozi, Dr. Ngozi. That's a Nigerian woman.
Mm.
But the thing that matter is those bad ones tend to suppress and make all of us look so bad when you go there. It's very, very bad. Let me just end here for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Richard. Ezekiel calls from Obibini. Hello, Ezekiel. Good evening.
Good evening, SOC once more.
Good evening.
SOC, have you seen that bad eggs had contaminated the good ones?
Happens everywhere, my brother.
And the unfortunate is this. In fact, kudos to your guest. This is what shows that we are one Africa. But the unfortunate is that they never let us know what our good ones has been doing in Ghana, if not for his information now. But I will only center this to the federal government for them to discuss with the Ghanaian government if they have anything to do concerning the bad Nigerians in diaspora. Based on your question, Mr. SOC, when I went to Togo, 2007 specifically, these people treated me as a son of a prominent man in Nigeria here because of the way I behaved. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, I do.
So for me, let the federal government intervene, because whether they protested before or just of recent, all borders painting Nigeria a bad name. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Ezekiel. Thank you very much. Caption from HA. Hello, Caption.
Yes, I think anybody that want to dwell among people should be law-abiding. Nigerians have been facing this kind of challenge anywhere they find themselves. if you go in other countries, they are the ones most you find in their prison. A country does not have an issue you living in their midst, but being law-abiding is very important. And if your guest said that there hasn't been any protest, the one you played in your standby, they said Nigerians should go. They mentioned a particular tribe. And I'm of the opinion that I don't really understand why they are rating Ghana above Nigeria, where you are now banning a petty trader in a country, just within a West African neighbor. You are now banning in fact, the way ECOWAS says is that it's like somebody that coming from Ghana is just a stone throw. But a country now is banning another country. It's like you banning, said that a Togolese should not come here to do pure tiling. It's very, very absurd. The one thing here within the West African neighborhood is quite unfortunate, but nevertheless, if we find ourselves, even here we call them, a particular criminal will commit an offense, they generalize it, bag it ethnicity, give it general name. So if this what we do here is what we have taken above our country, where we say we don't actually call a crime, begin to generalize everything. But let us be law-abiding everywhere we find ourselves.
Okay, so Caption. I'm glad that you ended. I'm glad you ended on that note, right? By saying we should be law-abiding. As to stating that the law is absurd, yes, you might not agree with it, but it's the law of the land. If they believe that petty trading should be reserved for their countrymen, you might not like it, but that's what the law is. It's very similar. I don't know if this comparison works, right? But it's just like we say that there should be no open grazing, and we have laws in different states against it. It doesn't mean that we don't want cattle to feed, but we know what problems have come out of open grazing. So the question you want to ask is, what problems have Ghana faced by foreigners engaging in petty trading? What brought the country to the point where they believed that that law was the solution to that problem? This is how you should look at it, not just, it's absurd. Because when you say that, you think about it from how it affects you. So we need to be objective. Sam, nice one for setting him up to admit that our jollof can come handy at the point of death. But smartly, he revenged by ending with praises of their own jollof. Smart guy, it was comical. Dafe says, the thing is, I've never tasted Ghana jollof, so I don't even engage in the arguments because I honestly don't know what it tastes like. And I hope that the gig that should take me to Ghana later this year still works. If it doesn't, well, in the words of James Bond, we live to die another day. Greetings to you, Uncle Sam, and special Ghanaian guest. The last part of your conversation interests me most. Ghana jollof is always the best. Please tell me more. Nicholas from Wimpy says, Obed calls from Port Harcourt. Hello, Obed. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sam.
Good evening.
Welcome back, Sam.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Sam, I think many people have spoken very well. Nigerians should desist from,
to thrive in a fast...
So apologies for that.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes, so I think Nigerians should not show themselves, anyhow in other countries. In as much as I believe that what led to all this running around from one country to another is because of how this country is currently. But I must say, wherever they find yourself, just like one of the callers, if you enter Rome, behave like Rome. You understand?
Yeah.
Don't bring bad character. You understand? That's why we are telling them, let them come back to Nigeria. Let us build this country. You understand? This should send a warning to them to come back to Nigeria so that we can build this country. Let us come and put pressure on the National Assembly to amend some section of the Electoral Act so that we'll be able to choose the leader that we want for the betterment of this country, not to be running hater. The last time we heard of xenophobia attack and the rest of them, many Nigerians lost their property. You understand? Until today, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, has never apologized to Nigerians. He has never done that. So I must say to Nigerians, please, this should send warning. Come back to this country. Let's all build this country together. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Obed. You seem to be my final caller. Let's see. Do we have messages? Yes, indeed, we do. Oh my, I'm trying to locate those messages. All right, thank God that Tuibu says, greetings, Sam. If Nigerians in Ghana go, Ghana's economy will collapse. That's from Thank God. The government of Nigeria is a major cause of this shame, Fidelis Elemowa says from Eche. And this one says, for your guest, I saw this same protest on X just this week. I think the thing about Nigerians is that we are dominated in nature and extremely good when it comes to hustling. They should try and accept us as we continue to maintain whatever position they give us in their own land. It's disheartening that when it comes to our own country, it becomes a free-for-all. Ogechukwu Michael from Rumi Igbo says, Sam, your guest is being diplomatic. Act as the proverbial romance. I think I should just leave you with something from Ghana. This is Odomenkwa by Sakodie featuring Kwabena. And after that, well, the news happens at 6. Stay with us.